Stop pretending with narcissists. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship with someone who constantly demands attention, yet offers you nothing in return? You might have been dealing with a narcissist, someone who thrives on admiration and validation, but leaves you feeling emotionally drained. The scariest part. You might not even realize how much they've manipulated your perception of reality until it's too late. But here's the thing. You don't have to pretend any longer. Stop pretending with narcissists. You deserve real, authentic connections, not a constant cycle of emotional highs and lows controlled by someone else. In this video, we'll dive deep into the psychology behind narcissistic behavior, explore how it affects your well-being, and most importantly, teach you how to stop pretending and take control of your life again. Before we dive into the heart of this topic, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to our channel for more insights on personal growth, toxic relationships, and strategies for emotional empowerment. If you're finding this discussion valuable, don't forget to like and share this video with anyone who might benefit from it. Together, we can break free from unhealthy dynamics and build stronger, more authentic connections. Let's begin by asking a question that lies at the heart of many relationships with narcissists. Why do we keep pretending everything is okay? Narcissists possess an almost magnetic charm. They are often incredibly charismatic, skilled at making us feel like we are the most important person in their world, the center of their attention. At the beginning of the relationship, this feels flattering and can even be thrilling. Whether they're a partner, friend, or coworker, they know exactly how to play the role of someone who is deeply interested in you, who values you, and who is willing to give you all the affection and attention you could ask for. But what happens when that charm fades, when the initial glow of their adoration begins to dull? What happens when their behavior starts to show its true darker colors, and you're left wondering whether this person actually cares about you at all? The truth is that narcissists are experts at manipulation, and the charm that initially draws you in is often just a tactic. They use their charm and charisma to reel people in, only to gradually erode their self-esteem and sense of worth over time. Narcissists are often caught in a repetitive and destructive cycle of needing constant validation. They are endlessly seeking approval, admiration, and affirmation from others because they are trying to fill a deep internal void. Beneath their grandiose exterior lies a sense of deep inadequacy and insecurity that they can never seem to satisfy. However, despite their insatiable hunger for external validation, they are unable to offer true, unconditional emotional support to those around them. This leaves their partners, friends, or family members feeling empty, disconnected, and confused. The emotional connection that initially seemed promising becomes strained as you realize that their affection and attention are conditional, tied directly to whether or not they are receiving the constant validation they crave. They might seem to give love, but it's often only in exchange for something they need in return, which makes the relationship feel transactional instead of authentic. One of the most damaging aspects of being involved with a narcissist is the way they gradually make you doubt yourself. Narcissists are notorious for using a psychological manipulation tactic called gaslighting. This is a form of emotional abuse where they manipulate your perception of reality, causing you to question your own thoughts, feelings, and memories. For example, they may flat out deny something they've said or done, even when you have clear evidence to the contrary. They may insist that they never made a particular comment or that an event never took place. Over time, this constant denial and distortion of reality can leave you feeling unsure of yourself and wondering if your perceptions are accurate at all. The more this happens, the more confused and disoriented you become, leading you to question your own sanity. This gradual erosion of trust in your own ability to perceive events correctly can have a significant, long-term impact on your self-esteem and sense of self-worth. The key to breaking free from this toxic pattern is recognizing that you are not responsible for their behavior, no matter how much they try to make you believe otherwise. Narcissists are skilled at deflecting blame and often work hard to make you feel like you are the one at fault. They will shift the focus onto you, making you believe that their actions are a result of something you did or didn't do, when in reality, their emotional instability is the cause of the issues. Narcissists thrive on creating a false narrative where they play the victim and you are cast in the role of the villain. This manipulative tactic allows them to avoid taking responsibility for their behavior, all while making you feel guilty and inadequate. However, it's crucial to understand that their actions are often rooted in their own unresolved trauma, deep-seated insecurities, and emotional immaturity. It is not your job to fix them or take on their emotional burdens. So, how do you stop pretending with narcissists? The first step is to start recognizing the signs of their behavior. Narcissists often begin relationships with what is known as love bombing. This is when they shower you with overwhelming affection, compliments, and attention in the early stages of the relationship. They may tell you how unique and special you are, how they've never felt this way before, and how lucky they are to have found you. This stage can be incredibly intoxicating because it feels like you've met someone who truly understands you, someone who is deeply in love with you. However, it's important to understand that this behavior is often short-lived and serves a clear purpose: to establish trust, gain admiration, and secure your attachment to them. Once they have successfully gained your affection and trust, the dynamics start to shift. As the relationship progresses, they begin to pull away. This is known as the devaluation phase, and it can be incredibly confusing and emotionally painful. During this phase, the narcissist will often criticize you, belittle your achievements, or make you feel inadequate in various ways. They may use subtle put-downs or overt insults to manipulate your emotions. You may find yourself walking on eggshells, unsure of what to say or do to avoid triggering their anger or disappointment. Their behavior becomes unpredictable, and you are left wondering where the loving, affectionate person you thought you knew has gone. The affection and attention you once received seems to vanish, and you may begin to question what went wrong. This cycle of intense love bombing, followed by devaluation, is designed to keep you hooked, always chasing after the validation and approval they once gave you. It creates a sense of emotional instability, leaving you in a constant state of confusion, self-doubt, and longing for the affection they used to show you. Over time, this cycle can wear you down emotionally and mentally, as you become more and more desperate for the love and validation that was once so freely given, but is now so hard to find. Narcissists know how to manipulate and control their partners through this emotional roller coaster, ensuring that you remain tethered to them, never fully sure of where you stand. The love you initially felt can feel like a distant memory, and what remains is a relationship built on emotional manipulation, self-doubt, and an unrelenting need for validation. The more you try to fix things or win back their approval, the more you are sucked into their emotional web, perpetuating the toxic cycle they have created. Breaking free from this pattern requires recognizing these manipulative tactics and refusing to accept the emotional instability they bring. It involves acknowledging that you deserve better and that you are not responsible for their emotional needs or behavior. By recognizing these signs, setting healthy boundaries, and protecting your self-worth, you can begin to step away from the damaging dynamics of narcissistic relationships and reclaim your emotional health and stability. The most difficult part of breaking free from a narcissistic relationship is coming to the painful realization that you will never receive the validation you are desperately seeking. This realization can hit hard because, for so long, you may have believed that if you just gave more, did more, or proved your worth enough, the narcissist would eventually acknowledge your needs and offer the love and support you long for. Unfortunately, narcissists are incapable of providing the genuine care, attention, and emotional support that healthy relationships require. Their focus is always on themselves, their needs, and their insecurities, which are never fully satisfied. Their emotional well-being depends on constant admiration and validation, and they rely on others to provide this constant feed. As a result, they are not in a place to offer true love, affection, or support because they lack the emotional depth to do so. No matter how much you give or how hard you try to meet their demands, it will never be enough for them. This harsh truth can be excruciating to accept because it means acknowledging that you've been pouring effort, time, and energy into a relationship that will never be truly fulfilling. Yet, this realization is crucial because it is the first step toward understanding that you need to set boundaries and break the destructive cycle that has kept you stuck in the relationship. Once you've accepted that the narcissist will never provide the validation you need, the next vital step in stopping the pretense is learning how to set firm and healthy boundaries. Narcissists are skilled at pushing boundaries, often doing so in subtle ways that make it difficult to even recognize that your limits are being violated. They might try to guilt you into doing things for them, using emotional manipulation to make you feel obligated to meet their needs. They may also make unreasonable demands, expecting you to drop everything for them or put aside your own well-being for their convenience. Even when you do try to assert your needs, they may criticize you for not meeting their expectations, making you feel as though you're in the wrong for setting a limit. These tactics are designed to make you question your own needs and continue giving in to their demands. But setting boundaries is essential for preserving your emotional health and well-being. To protect yourself, you need to learn how to say no without guilt, especially when they ask for something that makes you uncomfortable or crosses a line. It might also mean walking away from conversations that become emotionally manipulative or abusive. This may be difficult at first, as narcissists are often very persuasive and adept at making you feel like you owe them everything. But learning to say no is key to breaking free from the cycle of manipulation. Setting boundaries with a narcissist is not about punishing them or trying to get revenge for their behavior. It's about protecting your own well-being and recognizing your right to be treated with respect, kindness, and genuine care. The goal is not to retaliate or escalate the situation, but to assert your needs and create a healthy distance between you and the narcissist's toxic behavior. When you set boundaries, you are not being selfish. You are affirming your own self-worth and protecting your emotional and mental health. Narcissists will often resist boundaries because they feel entitled to your time, energy, and attention. They will push back and try to guilt-trip you into abandoning your boundaries, but standing firm is vital. By maintaining your boundaries, you are not only protecting yourself, but you are also reclaiming control over your own life and emotional state. You are signaling that you are no longer willing to tolerate their emotional manipulation or allow them to define the terms of your relationship. This may cause them to react with anger or contempt, but it's important to remember that their reactions are not your responsibility. They are simply trying to reassert control, and by holding your ground, you are taking back your power. Another crucial element in stopping the pretense with narcissists is understanding the nature of narcissistic abuse. Narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional and psychological manipulation that can leave you feeling emotionally drained, mentally confused, and isolated. It often involves a pattern of subtle and overt tactics aimed at breaking down your sense of self and making you doubt your own reality. Narcissistic abuse can take place in any type of relationship, whether romantic, familial, or professional, and it is essential to recognize that the abuse is not your fault. Narcissists will often make you feel like you are responsible for their actions, but in reality, they are the ones who are emotionally incapable of forming healthy, reciprocal relationships. Their abusive behavior stems from their own deep insecurities and unresolved issues, not from anything you have done. It's vital to internalize the understanding that their actions are a reflection of their dysfunction, not a reflection of your worth. Recognizing narcissistic abuse is an important part of breaking free because it helps you separate yourself from their manipulative tactics and understand that you do not deserve to be treated this way. To stop the pretense with narcissists, you must also work on rebuilding your sense of self-worth. Narcissists can slowly erode your confidence over time, often making you feel inadequate, unworthy, or incapable of trusting your own instincts. They are adept at making you question yourself, your emotions, and your perceptions. This constant questioning of your worth can lead to a loss of self-esteem and a lack of confidence in your own abilities. However, by setting boundaries, reclaiming your independence, and distancing yourself from their toxic behavior, you can begin to rebuild your self-esteem. It's important to surround yourself with people who genuinely care about you, who respect your boundaries, and who value you for who you truly are. These supportive relationships will help restore your sense of self and remind you that you are deserving of love and respect. Remind yourself that you are worthy of being treated with kindness and compassion, and that you do not need to settle for a relationship that offers you anything less than this. Rebuilding your self-worth will take time, but with patience, self-compassion, and the support of positive people in your life, you will begin to feel more confident, empowered, and capable of moving forward into healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Breaking free from the cycle of narcissistic abuse and ending the pretense in a relationship with a narcissist is not an easy journey, but it is essential for your emotional well-being. Recognizing the patterns of narcissistic behavior, setting clear boundaries, understanding the nature of narcissistic abuse, and rebuilding your self-esteem are all crucial steps in reclaiming your life and your sense of self. As difficult as it may be, remember that you are worthy of love, respect, and genuine care. Never settle for less. By learning to stop pretending, you take back control of your life and make space for healthier, more authentic connections. Thank you for sticking with us as we unpack the complex dynamics of narcissism and the importance of stopping the pretense. If you've ever felt trapped in a narcissistic relationship, remember that you are not alone. By recognizing the signs, setting boundaries, and reclaiming your self-worth, you can break free from the cycle and start living a life that's authentic and fulfilling. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone who might benefit, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let us know how you've dealt with narcissistic relationships in your life. Take care of yourself, trust your instincts, and remember that you deserve nothing less than real, meaningful connections. How empaths are turning the tables on narcissists. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to have a sixth sense when it comes to dealing with narcissists? They're not just reactive, they seem to turn the tables, gaining control and staying emotionally strong, while narcissists continue to spiral. It's not magic, it's empathy, and it's powerful. In this video, we're going to explore how empaths, those naturally attuned to others' emotions, are using their strengths to take back their power in relationships with narcissists. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by a narcissist or struggled with emotional